welcome to BLD BeatDown, where we run the rule of the latest PPV event in the world of WWE. And the latest PPV event in the world of WWE was 2015 SummerSlam. A big event, 10 bouts, a packed evening. Now, for those of you who follow us on Twitter, you'll know that I've written a review for Yahoo Sports. The link for that's down below. It's quite a long read. And it does, after the main read, go into each bout, just detailing what happened and what my thoughts were. Notebook Ninja Boy has got the iPad loaded up with the article, but that's just so that he can go through each bout and we can just give you our thoughts and compare to how we got on with the preview that we put up for you 3 days ago.
I wonder who got the most predictions correct.
We did disagree on a couple, didn't we?
On 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10, so let's see if that makes a difference in the point scoring. Now, to begin with, this is one that we didn't actually cover this one, did we?
No, but we both went for the same person.
Yeah, this was a late addition to the card. It was an afterthought, and it pretty much played out like that. It was the opening show of the night, Randy Orton against Sheamus. Now, I've got a bit of a beef with the WWE at the moment and the Viper, because he's a 12-time world record holder. He should be doing more than plugging gaps in these multi-person tag team matches that have been going on for the last few weeks. And this so-so feud with Sheamus was really just constructed over the last few days. And even then, on Raw last week, Randy committed a clean pin on Sheamus. It was always going to be a bit of a so-what match in terms of the result. And of course, Sheamus is Mr. Money in the Bank, so he can fight for the world title at any time. But to open the show, wasn't a bad one to open the show. It was okay. Now, of course, the result isn't what either of us predicted, was it? No. We both went for Randy Orton.
Sheamus
And Sheamus took it.
Hit him with a brogue in the corner, then hit him with a brogue, and Orton was in the centre of the ring.
There was a couple of missed moves. There was a missed brogue kick. There was a missed RKO. But then Sheamus finally caught Randy. He was swaying. Second brogue kick came in, and that was it. Randy was done for. Now that's possibly our worst prediction of the evening. So let's see how things move from here. Next up, it's the Tag Team Championship, where I'd got New Day Rocks, New Day Sucks to take the title from the Primetime Players, and you'd gone for...
I thought Primetime Players would retain.
Right, now the match itself, it was quite entertaining. New Day with some snazzy outfits, and the singing, forget the singing, that was a bit off key. Titus O'Neil was a bit of a monster for the Primetime Players, and
What?
he picked up 3 luchadors off the rope. What he didn't notice was Kofi tagged himself in, and that was his undoing, because it was Kofi who nipped in to do the pin to take the win for New Day. What do you think of New Day?
Sucks.
New Day still thinks New Day sucks. I've kind of got a soft spot for them. So that's 1-0 to Big Jim. Right, what's next on the agenda, Ninja Boy?
Dolphy Rusev.
Dolphy Rusev. Now, this was always going to be more about the women outside the ring than the men inside the ring. They did get to do a bit of wrestling. Ziggy got some good moves going. There was a great move where he got quite a good chokehold on Rusev as Rusev was spinning him round, but it didn't last for too long. And the main action ended in the sleep hold. Yeah. The main action was when Ziggy threw Rusev across the table, but couldn't get back into the ring in time. And what did we get? It was a double count out. Big disappointment. And of course,
he got him right at 10, but the referee said it didn't count.
Yeah, and that just kicked off, as you'd expect. The women had already had a bit of a spat, and there was a bit of a bundle in the ring, and it was all a bit of nonsense, and didn't really help things. But that's the prediction was it probably wasn't going to be a clean result, so there's a fair shout. All right, next up.
Stephen Neville against Stardust and King Barrett.
Yeah, the Arrow and the man who can do the red arrow against Stardust and King Barrett.
I'm a Cosmic King.
Cosmic King Barrett.
Oh, hey, Cosmic King.
This was always going to play out in one particular way, which was Armel and Neville doing the deed. The one thing I would say is Stephen Armel proved to be quite athletic. He entered the ring from the top rope. He was very good springing back onto his feet after Stardust had shoved him over. And towards the end of the fight, he did a good leap again from the top rope to flatten his 2 opponents, who by then were outside of the ring, and threw Barrett in so that Neville, as I predicted, could do the red arrow and take the spoils.
So that's now 2-1 to you.
It is indeed. It is indeed. Next up, buddy.
It is the Intercontinental Championship Triple Threat. Ryback, Big Show, and me.
This was a time for everybody to go make a cup of tea. It's not one that people were particularly bothered about, and I have to say it pretty much lived up to that reputation. There's a lot of slapping the canvas by the ref because there's a lot of opportunities. Miz was trying to dart in and out as most people had.
It got a bit interesting towards the end though.
Yeah, as most people had predicted. But the big result was, of course, Ryback making his first defence in a pay-per-view event, having recovered from his knee injury, took the win. So that again was my prediction. So I was pleased with that. And Ninja Boy?
Yeah. So it's 3-2.
You'd gone for that as well, yeah? Right, moving on.
It's the Wyatts against Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper against Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns.
2/3 of the Shield. There's quite a few people beforehand predicting there was going to be some kind of heel turn from Ambrose or Reigns, which I'd have found quite bizarre, to be honest, because Roman Reigns has looked a bit lost since losing his title chance at WrestleMania. And now he's been fighting alongside Ambrose. That's actually given him sort of a bit of a fresh impetus, and I've quite enjoyed seeing the two of them fighting again together. Bray Wyatt is probably the best heel we've got knocking around in the WWE at the moment.
Apart from one man who we'll mention later.
And a very talented wrestler. Yeah, well, yeah, we're coming on to the bigger events in a bit. So I quite enjoyed this. I thought it was quite a good fight. And I was very happy with the result because, yet again, it was another spot-on prediction from Big Jim. And Ninja Boy? No. Who did you go for, buddy?
I went for the Wyatts.
You went for the Wyatts, didn't you?
I thought there was going to be some trick.
And
it's the one of them where they don't pull off a trick.
And I'd gone for Roman to win it with Ambrose in support. That's exactly what happened. A spear to Bray Wyatt.
So
After some good work from Ambrose, avoiding his sister Abigail. So
and turning it into dirty.
Yeah, so that was a good entertaining fight. And next bout.
It is title for a title, Cena and Rollins.
Winner takes all. Now, love him or loathe him, Seth Rollins, apart from the pretty natty gear he was wearing, where he looked more like a Power Ranger than a WWE star.
It looked like he's wearing some shield gear to protect himself.
Yeah. I don't think anyone can deny what actually a talented wrestler he is. He's very athletic, very acrobatic, so can put together some exceptional moves, and it was a good fight. Cena seems to be becoming accustomed to knowing how to take a hit. He takes a lot of hits just recently. But I guess the biggest thing here was the Jon Stewart introduction, and I guess you would call it a heel turn from him too. Now, my prediction again had been this fight would be interrupted by Jon Stewart, that Cena would think he was going to win, and Stewart's intervention would mean that Rollins would be happy by the end of the day, and that's exactly what happened again.
That's what I said too.
And Ninja Boy was in total agreement this time round.
5-3.
I think it made sense. If you actually looked at it, it made sense that Stewart was going to get involved somewhere along the line. He wouldn't just appear to speak to Mick Foley for a few minutes before the start of the event and then disappear for the rest of the evening.
And also, towards the end, Seth does the same move that broke Cena's nose, and then Stewart comes in to do his bit.
He did, another knee to the face. But what I would actually say is, for me, I think Seth Rollins was actually the star of the night. I know it's a bit controversial, but I think he put in a good performance. It was a good fight, and it's given him even more reason to annoy people for the next few months. And of course, there's that statue at WWE HQ.
I forgot about that.
If you work at WWE HQ, I feel sorry for you, because you're going to have to stare at a Seth Rollins statue as you walk into work every day. Whether it actually happens or not, of course, we'll find out. But very entertaining. Yeah, enjoyed that. Next up, bud.
Team Bella v PCB.
Right, this was the girls in full flow. Wasn't too bad. They all got involved.
Get it back.
It wasn't. Well, it wasn't too BAD because they were the first to exit. I'd actually. This is one I got wrong. I'd actually fancied them to.
We both went for them.
To take this, but they didn't. Team Bella, as usual, looked like they were going to win, but Paige took some real punishment and fought well, and Becky Lynch came in to deliver the final pinfall after Brie had mistimed her kick, shouting Brie mode from the top rope and hit the canvas rather heavily. So that's always entertaining to see that happen. So that was a fair win for PCB. But not a good prediction from Big Jim or Ninja Boy on that one.
Cesaro v Owens.
Cesaro v Owens. I was pleased to see this one. I mean, for a start, Owens, what a fight he'd put in the previous night in the ladder match with
Against Finn Balor.
Yeah, against Finn Balor. I mean, it must have been. I mean, if that had been you or me, I don't think I'd have been getting out of bed the following day, let alone having another tough fight in a mainstream pay-per-view show for WWE.
Try.
But what an effort he put in, and I think it showed as well what great talent that has come up through NXT. Obviously, Cesaro's been around for a little while now. Owens has been around for 3 months, and in fact, he teed up this fight saying that he'd done more in 3 months in WWE than Cesaro had done in 3 years. But that was just a great build-up. It was a very good fight. Very technically, it was sound. Some very good athleticism, particularly Owens, he's actually quite a stocky lad, isn't he? He's very nimble on his feet. And just when he looked like he was running out of juice, he managed to turn the tables on Cesaro. He was dithering a bit. Looked like Owens was out on the ropes, and
then he hit a pop-up powerbomb.
He did, and that was it. So Owens won again, as predicted, and you went for
Owens.
You went for Owens too. So what's that score was? What does that make it?
6-4.
6-4. Right. Now, what does that bring us to?
Well, that's the final one, so
Yeah, I know. I was just building up the anticipation. Oh, yes, that brings us to the big match of the night. The grudge match.
Brock Lesnar.
Indeed. And Paul Heyman wasn't happy by the end of the evening either. What I thought about this was it was a great fight. It was Taker has looked stronger the more the year has gone on. With every fight,
some proof. It took 3 F5s at WrestleMania to beat him.
Yeah.
The first F5 at this event through the table. Then Brock hit another 2 F5s, covered Taker, kick out. So he's obviously improved on that wise, but I can't say the same thing about submissions.
But then also, there were 5 suplexes, weren't there?
Yeah.
He got thrown around a bit, but rather than looking unsteady on his feet as he has done in previous appearances, he was looking quite good. As Ninja Boy said, at one stage he whacked into the announce table and caught his ribs and looked like he was struggling for breath. Didn't stop him. He kept going. But of course, the big thing was the controversy at the end. Now, the referee, in fairness to the referee, he could see Brock Lesnar's shoulders were on the ground. Or on the canvas, and he had to check to see if they were both down, and so he went to do the count. So he was on the blind side of where Taker was actually tapping out. Now, of course, the TV cameras caught it. That's what they're there to do. Of course, we saw the replay straight away, so we then understood why Paul Heyman was doing his nut. The disappointing thing is, why couldn't it have been a clean victory? Taker's good enough to actually do a clean victory over Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar, surely, if anyone could do a clean victory against him and on his record, it would have to be Taker. So he's a worthy opponents on both sides. I don't know why we had to have it's not like we've not seen this kind of thing before. We've seen these little missed tap outs and things before in big matches. So it's kind of a bit of a hollow victory in the end. Having said that, it was still amusing. And there was still a certain amount of thank goodness that Taker's finally got his revenge for what happened at WrestleMania. Albeit that I would argue you can't ever get revenge for that, because once your streak's gone, and you can never get it back.
Now, Monday Night Raw will probably have to be a 10-hour show.
What, to take in all of these little rivalries and things that are going on?
Yeah, because probably Brock and Taker are going to be fighting for 6 hours backstage until one of them eventually dies. So
that could be a bit harsh. That would be a harsh storyline.
I would say Taker will win because he can't kill what won't die. His nickname.
You can't kill what won't die. So there we have it. So Big Jim won by 2 clear points in the end.
Yeah.
2 clear points. You would kind of expect that if I'm paid to be a sports writer by profession, but it shows a Ninja Boy knows his stuff as well. So well played, Ninja Boy. And we will be back for the next BLD beatdown, with the next big pay-per-view event for the WWE
Night of Champions.
And until then, stay cool.